Hey, this is Victor Antonio, and welcome to another episode of Victor's Inbox. I love your emails. Keep them coming. I'll do my best to answer as many of these as I can. Now, today's email comes from Vinicius Gallardo. Vinicius Gallardo. Sounds elegant and Roman at the same time. He says, Victor, help me please. I'm here for you, brother. He says, I've watched almost all of your videos, follow your steps, big fan of yours, as you know, but I need your help in a situation I'm facing. That if I'm going to go to client and make a presentation and it goes well, I'm going to paraphrase this part, at the end they typically want me to leave them pricing a budget. What do I say? Do I say something like, I quote, I'll come back in a month to see if you want to close the deal, or do I say I'll come back in 2 weeks to see if you want to close the deal? What do I say? I sell a product that is not urgent, he says, but is important, security cameras. So what am I missing in the sales process? Help me, I need your advice. Okay? Here was my response to Vinicius Gallardo. He says, first, thank you for watching and the kind words. I appreciate it, thank you. Now let me begin by correcting your last statement. Quote, it's not urgent. The product you're selling is not urgent. I said, that is the wrong mindset. It's not urgent because you, yes you, haven't found a way or ways or reasons to create that sense of urgency. You need to do that. The client will always say, let me think about it, when there isn't a sense of urgency. So my goal for you to close the deal would be to try to close it right there, but you have to do the first thing first, and that is to create a sense of urgency. Now listen carefully. If you don't create a sense of urgency, the customer is typically not going to move. They want to spend their money elsewhere. Again, your job is to find ways to create a sense of urgency. If you're selling security cameras, I have a hard time believing you can't create a sense of urgency. Maybe talk about the crime rate in the area, how many shops have been broken into, how security cameras have helped companies save money to reduce the amount of, theft within the company by employees. You can create this sense of urgency and create a dollar value, quantify that value for the customer. If the customer is not responding because it's not urgent, it's because you haven't created that sense of urgency. So do that. Now the second part of the question is, how should you close or should you follow up? The answer is always try to close there and then. Again, if you created a sense of urgency, try to close the deal right there. Now I'm assuming that the person you're talking to can make that decision. So the goal is to try to close the deal right there to get a commitment. If the customer can't commit right there, then say, again, schedule a follow-up call 2 to 3 days later, no more than that. Because again, if the value proposition is obvious, then it shouldn't take them that long to think about it. So call back in 2 or 3 days, let them know, get an agreement that you'll call back maybe the next day, maybe 2 days. Again, my preference would be depending on the value, the smaller the value, the faster I want to close the deal. So for example, if it's a $1,000 order, I know they can make a decision. So I'm going to call back the next day. I'm going to set up a time to call back within 24 hours. And I would maybe follow up one more time. If they told me they still had to think about it, maybe I would follow up within 72 hours after the first call. Get the idea? But after the third call, it basically means they're not going to buy. Unless they give you a good excuse, typically it means they're not going to buy because you in this case did not create a sense of urgency to make them want to buy. So again, look at your presentation, analyze how can you create a sense of urgency. If you do that, if you really validate that, the customer is more likely to make a decision right there and then if you do it the right way. This is Victor Antonio with another Sales Influence Moment reminding you, selling ain't hard when you know how. Take care.
Every manager can feel it. The difference between a motivated, value-driven sales team and one that's stuck in a rut. CEOs know the difference too. They can see it clearly in the profit and loss columns. The question is, how do you get your team to this elite level? Is there something extra you can do to break through the remaining resistance and equip them with the right mindset to grow your business? Yes, there is. But you're not going to do it with one of those cheesy inspirational speakers or some self-proclaimed guru. What you need is someone with a real business track record to deliver key insights in a captivating way, to give your team the right tools for selling in today's tough marketplace. Enter Victor Antonio, experienced executive, innovative thinker, compelling speaker. He's ready to deliver the message you need your people to hear, not with a canned speech, but a customized, dynamic keynote designed to deliver results. Bring Victor Antonio to your next event before the competition does. Go to www.victorantonio.com for more information.